She's got it. Just
Okay, we're live.
Regarding the rodeo?
Pardon?
Regarding the rodeo.
Yes.
Yeah. Updating of order, I want to acknowledge the Smoky Valley in which we learn, work, and organize the ancestral tradition on the Cedar Territory of Smoky people and this one for Smoky and Indian band. Before we adopt the agenda, there is one new item, 11.1, should be a letter from the rodeo. So we'll add that, and with that, we get a motion to accept the agenda. Let's all in favor? Carried. We have no petitions and obligations. Finished business, run staff reports. Number 1 is 6.1, Halloween Family Fun Night. This is an annual request, and it's going to speak real quick.
So yes, the annual Family Fun Night is coming up, and Jen and Lana are here also, who can speak more of it if you have more questions. But there's a recommendation to council that we grant permission to do the Halloween Family Fun Night as usual with the planning committee to host this event with fireworks on the Princeton Exhibition Grounds or the fairgrounds. That council grant this approval for the committee to plan a demonstration. Fireworks should be conditional, and these conditional approval are on the compliance of the Kamloops Fire Center fire danger rating, assessment for the Merritt fire zone on the day of the event, and a site assessment by the Princeton Fire Department before the event, and the attendance of the Princeton Fire Department at that event. Furthermore, is that approval to be granted to the Public Works to assist with the cleanup after the event on the 26th and 27th, and that we move forward.
Regular stuff. Any questions?
Only thing that is probably already included in that is some kind of notification to the horse owners that have horses in the area that they would be made aware of it. Pretty sure that's probably aware of it.
They are. We do have a good communication happening with our horse porters up there currently. And so they're informed of all the big events that are coming to town way ahead of time. And they're also granted, if they do want to remove the horses for the day, we do grant them a $15 discount on their monthly fee, just as a way to show assistance to them.
Thank you.
I'll just make that motion, Mr. Mayor. I think it's a great event.
Moved by Councilor Lewis, seconder. Councilor Cool. Any last questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thanks for joining us, Ed.
Hey.
Nadine just did it for you. 6.2 is BC Transit 2025-2026 proposed service expansion. Passes on to CAO.
Sure. This is a bit of a housekeeping item and something that council has been working on for the past 3 years. This is the next step in council's strategic plan to introduce in-town bus service. Route 50, which we've been managing up till now, will be officially transferred to the RDOS on January 1st. And BC Transit will take this MOU and they use it in an application on our behalf to the province to secure funding for capital and operational funds to help support our expanded service. The expanded service proposed is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full days, and Tuesday, Thursday, one day each, or 1 hour each, with an on-call as well. So that's a start. So we're meeting council to resolve this resolution now.
Is there time for that hour set, or is it?
No, it's negotiable, but we are trying to align it with kids going to school.
Yeah, that kind of was the catalyst behind all this, was getting kids to and from school and then people to the hospital and to the grocery store. So on that since I think day one. Just an update on Route 50, it'll be coming before the board tomorrow at the regional district to create a service. And this year, it takes almost a year to create a service, so the full transition will take place somewhere the next year. And so Lyle and the CAO board of the regional district, how that's going to look, and everything's in place right now. This is the biggest step right now to make it to move us forward with the in town transit systems.
And then would BC Transit be able to consider, or would they consider, like, in the cities where students are reduced to, if not?
So we want to meet with the school district to see if they'll help participate in the funding. Yes, yeah, so there's still negotiations to happen, but those are down the road. Once we have this MOU in place, then we can start the next stage, which is trying to see.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Second by Councilor William. Any last questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next one is the fire hall number 2 award contract, CAO.
This is an exciting project, up in the industrial park. Council has made a strategic decision to have the emergency services on both sides of the river. We did, just recently receive a grant, called the Growing Community Grant in the amount of $2 million. Council set, a fire hall training center as the priority and allocated this grant to that project. We have the money sitting there. A progressive design build process was chosen for an RFP. What that means is the project is divided into 2 phases. Phase 1 will produce the design and a stipulated sum price for the construction, and then it'll be brought back to council. Council will have the ability to decide whether or not they want to proceed with construction. The RFP did produce 6 submissions through a validation process. It was seen that Ledcor to be the best fit for this project, and so therefore we're recommending the contract be awarded to Ledcor, and once the contract is let out, they will start immediately with phase 1 design.
Wow.
Motion.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Secretary. Mayor, please. Last, question, comments? All in favor? Agreed. Thank you. Council reports. Let's start with Councilor McLean. Sure he's got stuff to say. I think something's happening right now.
Not an awful lot. I've been fairly busy in the last short period of time. I was doing a biological review of salmon migration in the Vancouver Island area. But everything's okay with the migration. Other than that, commenting on the, it was good to hear, Mr. Schatz is not here today, but apparently we were getting closer to erecting the building in the downtown area. Really looking forward to that. Finally starting to see perhaps the end of, the beginning of the end, perhaps. It's gonna be nice to finally get something going there. And that was it.
Thank you. Councilor Elliott.
Just a couple of things to report. I attended a Two Rivers Event Society meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I have another one tonight to attend too. Exciting things coming out of that board. And I attended the Princeton Show and Shine, and my timing was perfect in the sense that there was no crowd, which made for really good photos, but not a lot to take photos of because I was there shortly after it ended. But I saw some cars and I did get some pictures, and from what I heard on the street, it was one hell of a show. So there you go. That's my report.
Thank you.
Well, I did make the car show on time. Yeah, and I think it was a great event. And I thank everyone for all the work they did. And yeah, they're anywhere from 150 to 200 cars is what they're saying. So yeah, and a little bit of everything was it's done really well, and I think it was received really well.
Thanks for filling in for me.
Yeah, I picked the winner for you.
I have nothing to report.
I don't have a lot to report. A few meetings going on. We did get a few meetings with ministers and packages and whatnot.
Which minister?
All three that we got one with highways, tourism. We're still waiting to hear back from staff. I'm not sure. I think they're still looking for something. Yeah, so anyways, I just, this is the last council meeting we'll have before the provincial election. I was trying to get Rolly here. He's at another function in town, so I do want to thank our MLA for everything that he has done for us over the last number of years. Unfortunately, he's not here. He will be here at 4:30. They're doing an award ceremony up here, but you know, this election, up to this election period, Princeton's gone under a lot of stress, and you know, if it wasn't for him answering my phone calls, none of the stuff that we did would accomplish. I just want to say thank you for that. So that'll hand the report.
As part of the report?
Yep.
Will he be at the UCM as in that lower schedule as all until?
So the election starts like the day after the elect, museum. He is trying to come. It's up in the air whether or not MLAs will be coming to the museum. Yeah,
It's just beneficial at rule.
yeah, it's not his decisions. A lot of decisions we made all over the province right now.
I was just thinking, well, it's a perfect example of that saying, it's how hard to know it's, you know, when you have a relationship that we have with him. It's been so beneficial in terms of the times that we went through it, the things that we went through, and to have somebody at your beck and call, helping out.
You know, like, so he was the chair of the regional district of Grand Forks. Governor Cooney, Grand Forks flooded. So, you know, when Princeton started flooding, he knew exactly what was going through my mind. You know, and he made himself available 24 hours a day. It didn't matter. And, you know, when nobody was answering our phone calls, he did. And when they were still trying to brush us off because Coquel and everything else was gone, he was the one banging on their doors saying, you better pick up the phone and call him back right now. So I can't say enough thanks for him, to him for that. And he's aware of it. He's aware of how much we appreciate that. You know, it's kind of been a blessing and a curse at the same time because he did get appointed to be the parliamentary secretary for all road development, which made it really hard for him to be here when we needed him or wanted him to be here. But he was always, you know, just a phone call. So I can't say enough thank yous for to him.
You know, you said you have a meeting with the minister of highways. I think it's always valuable to be able to reiterate the fact that when the coal goes down, which it seems to go down fairly regularly, one of the only two alternates to the interior, and any work that they do on our highways is not wasted. It's for a good point, because that highway has its habit of having its problems.
Minister Fleming sees me coming, he runs the other. He knows. There's no other questions or comments, so I'll move on to the next part, so thank you. Correspondence received and file, we have two letters here, one from UBCM, Canada Community Development Fund for the first payments of 2024-2025, and then a letter from the city of Canada. Just Polly, go one, good question. Second. Any questions? Very, thank you. Then we have a correspondence action requested, and that's number one, Princeton Rodeo Club. Requested the Princeton Rodeo Club for the high school rodeo event scheduled for Chris.
So yes, the Princeton Rodeo Club, Lana, who's in audience today, did a great job of trying to get the high school rodeo here to town. And so that's happening for the first time in, I think, a very long time. So congratulations to them on that. They do have a request similar to our regular rodeo, that that they have access to town-owned garbage, which is really the dump truck that we bring up and we park it for the weekend for them so they can get rid of garbage and clear garbage cans. Use of the town-owned water truck that is there, the use, maybe I should put my glasses on, there we go. The tractor and the Packer, which I'm still learning, Lyle laughs at me all the time. The approval to allow the attendance of camping on site, and that's for their participants primarily and families. And the outdoor arena to be closed to the public beginning on September 18th, so the arena can be prepped for rodeo weekend. And the town staff and formal users of the outdoor arena will be closed, yeah, so there we go. Additional, just yesterday came in with a letter, included in their letter, I think it's 9.1. They made an extra request. And so the request is they're offering this free event to the whole community. They're working with the Two Rivers Society, Festival Society, who is new to our community and starting to do some wonderful things. They are looking at doing a front of house activities to just bring more like a harvest festival kind of idea, with activities for families and everybody with vendors and such. So that's all happening. Obviously coming through the gate is free, and they'll work from that. So Saturday is gonna be full of activity with not just the rodeo, but also the festival happening. And then Sunday is just rodeo. So they're requesting, a discount in the rental costs that we have for up at the fairgrounds. And they wanted to bring that forward to council. So currently, for a full day rental, it's $725 per day plus tax. And for a half day rental is $600 per day for tax plus tax. So the rodeo club, with the town, work really closely at trying to keep those grounds looking lovely and presentable and safe for everybody. And so, you know, each of us do partnership with the volunteers is we love them because they're doing a great job for us up there. They're bringing things in, they're painting a lot. They help clean up the grounds and such, but we do have costs when it comes to the town. We are bringing staff on to cut grass and do some weeding and doing repairs and things like that. Usually a prep for the June rodeo is a good, you know, the rodeo club starts a lot sooner than we do, but once we get in there, it's a good 2 to 3 days of hardcore 8 hours a day, just getting it done. And then second is, you know, some of our equipment use and fuel and things like that. So those are things to consider when we look at this. But again, it's a free community event. It's another large event for our community. We've had a lot this year. And the town has been supporting a lot of those events. So, but this is one site where we do have a cost.
Just for clarification, this is the 11.1.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so let's do that as separate. We'll do the first one first.
Hi.
It's okay. You don't have to do your spiel again. So the first one is that we approve the request from the the garbage truck, the water truck to use the tractor, all that stuff. So we'll deal with 9.1 first, which is just approve that. So
I actually have a question.
yep, you can ask a question. What's the second?
Sorry, so I can ask my question.
There, now you can ask a question.
Thank you. Nadine, just curious, point 5 says the outdoor arena will be closed to the public, beginning September 18th, so the arena can be prepared. I'm just curious, how many members of the public this affect?
This time of year, really
Yeah.
nobody. There's
Yeah.
maybe a handful of our boarders might go and use it, but this time of year, everybody's out and about, right? They're using our lovely community to ride and our mountains to ride and that sort of thing. So the indoor arena, or the outdoor arena, sorry, is not used by a lot of people, to be honest. I think year round is more go on the track and use the indoor when it comes to the winter.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor? Scary. So we'll hold on to the second.
Okay,
for,
sorry, jumped ahead.
The next one is 9.2, Social Planning and Research Council of BC, Spark BC, requesting Kimberly Yanko, volunteer policy accessibility for awareness. Next request from. Did you want to talk to this one? This is Karen.
Sorry.
No, it's
With me.
it's with you. Okay. Like you speak.
We're working together.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is kind of on a segue from the accessibility, town accessibility plan, planning group. And it has to do with educating people for use of the accessible parking locations within the community.
Okay. So every November, Sparse BC does accessible parking awareness month. They have grants available to apply for. And we're wanting to apply for one of those grants. And we're looking for your approval on that so that we can go out in the month of November and make people aware that these spots are there and whom they're there for and what they're there for. As Sparse BC says, that the abusers of these accessible are usually abused by people. They lend them to friends. They have people running into the store for them while they're sitting in the vehicle. They just leave them in their car and someone borrows their car so that when you get to where you're going, those spots are already being taken by somebody who doesn't even need them. So this is hung in your rearview mirror. You get a wallet permit that matches this one. I'm not sure if you want to look at it, pass it around. I put little green tape there with the numbers have to match. You are supposed to have that little card with you when you are with that plastic card, and it has to go with the person whose name is on the card. So if that means you have to ask for ID, you have to ask for ID. Because not all disabilities are visible. You don't always see what's wrong, but the name will tell you it's already been approved. Did you want me
I have
to
a
read?
question.
Go ahead.
What method are you going to use to inform people who may be using these spots incorrectly that they're doing so?
Would be Ed's call.
So that's the partnership part of this process. The grant is for $500 into signage or some sort of communication to the public. And in our discussion, town's participation would be with the bylaw section. And we'll be passing out these notifications to people that we can identify.
So we're looking at a warning ticket, a
No tickets.
slap on the wrist,
Education. So,
Education.
okay.
here's a person who's have any placard parking in a blue zone. And we have high use blue zones in town.
Yes.
And those probably would be the ones we start with. And then we could improve the actual signage, buy more signage for locations that are well identified. If it's snowfall after November, you can't see the painting on the street. We'd have a sign that help with that. So just it's an informational process. In the event that we have somebody who's assistant, we can take a different approach.
Thank you.
So have you had any discussions with about the signage yet?
No, we haven't even identified issue areas, so all of that would be.
I have been in the past.
He's not here anymore.
And it is in keeping with, I mean, down the road, it's in keeping with the accessibility program development that we're in, that Carrie's been part of. I don't wish to rush that, and I don't wish to influence.
It would be by the federal government. It is supposed to be complete by 2040 in all municipalities.
That's why we're.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But it hasn't, it's a little bit to do with that, but not.
Is the $500, you said that's towards the signage and stuff, or for?
Yeah, we have yet to determine what they will fund. So once we know that, we'll submit an application for the funding.
Okay.
But it sounded like it was very open.
Okay.
As to what
Like for
we could do.
printing pamphlets for hand information on that.
Going through their site, it looks like they offer a lot more than just this. They do a lot of community inclusion and all sorts of different programs they run through Sparks BC. They're even hooked in there with the food banks for providing.
And is it only 500 homes?
Yes. Okay. That was what was on last year's application.
Is it like fire smart graduated thing, or is it like that's the ceiling?
I think it's a one-time. Yeah, I don't know if it'll strike twice, but
And it does take place in November.
So, and then it would be the town applying.
we would endorse the application, so I would write a letter of support
Okay.
to the application. So we're not handling the funds.
So what is the name of the group? Of community group? What's your name?
We're gonna be starting one.
Oh, okay.
So who's applying?
Who's applying and?
Who's applying for the grant?
I can if you want, or
So it'll be with
Yeah.
Kimberly
we're gonna,
Hughes here as well. There's a number of people in town that have indicated that they're.
So you're gonna create a group to apply for the grant.
well, that group will probably carry on doing other stuff
Yeah, yeah.
too, I'm gonna assume.
Just trying to figure out.
Yeah, because that's where I'm like, is the town applying on your behalf?
Yeah.
Right, that's what.
No, I'm sure it would be me.
Okay.
We just need your approval and your blessing that you're going to advertise November as being Accessibility Parking Awareness Month within the community. And
Because that's not what's on our page.
yeah, you're kind of backing us up is basically what it's saying.
What's on our page, it says council direct staff to support applications. Spark BC for. the
It does say
funds
that,
to support
yeah.
funding. So that's why we're confused as to who the money is. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna interject, and I don't know if Ed is aware of this or not, but several years ago, there was a group. Headed by the late Ken Carlson. I sat on the board. It was the Princeton Accessibility Awareness Committee. And I'm wondering if maybe that exists somewhere that might give you an avenue to apply for that grant. Might be worth looking into.
Carrie was gonna start something.
No, she's got her plates are full for lunch.
Okay.
Apply for the grant. So, yeah, I mean, so I think the only problem here is staff. Staff support not applying. So we can do it as.
That's right.
CAO.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
And I will second.
Okay, Councilor Elliott is making the recommended, Councilor Paul is seconding. Any last questions on that? Thank you. So let's, when you're done, take the CAO. Sure, that's all. but it's easy, nice. Okay, thank you.
No.
There's one more between.
Okay, now we'll go back to the 11.1, which is the new one, which is rodeo. So rodeo is asking for a discount. Katie, how much are they asking for?
They actually never put an amount there,
So it's $725 for the first day,
and then
and it's $600 for the second day. $1,325 for 2 days. Discounts we usually do as a discount for rodeo. This would be an in-kind donation. James, sorry. Yeah, just gonna, so it's an in-kind donation named dollar value. Not sure it's little as you.
They're still, like, as mentioned in the page report, they're acknowledging that they're a costly municipality, wages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Too bad we wouldn't come.
$725 isn't gonna touch like any of them, just so. Now, I'm gonna ask a question, because you guys are here. Is there any chance that this is gonna become a recurring event, or is this like one time, like we might not get it again? or what?
No, we'll get it again.
So if you do this again next year, will there be a gate attached to it, or is this like
No, there won't ever be a gate fee attached to it, but at least, we only had 7 weeks to plan this. From the time they gave us the approval to the time they said, here's your date. We didn't get as many sponsorships as we were kind of hoping for this year, because we were kind of in a panic.
So do you guys have a shortfall or are you guys going to?
I think we'll just kind of coast in there. And the High School Rodeo Association is willing to help us with a little bit of the cost. Just because they gave us such a tiny window to work in.
And then from what I understand, the other organized position that
University Event Society.
they're going to do a front of house event.
At the front of the grounds, yeah.
So what do they do? What's their plan here?
It's similar to what the fall fair used to be. They do have much bigger ideas and things that are coming in, and there's been a lot of town support right now, and the president really does also want to see it, like the high school rodeo, be a free front gate, that they're coming up with other avenues to raise money.
So is there like the garden club stuff or there's just?
There will be. There will be. We are
This
just,
year or next year?
I don't know if we'll have a display this year. I fingers crossed that we do, but again, we are on a super short time crunch to try and get everything together. So we are pulling miracles wherever we can find them.
I don't think you have any garden stuff left by the time you do this one. Okay, so
We still have tomatoes.
I mean, it's 1,300.
We cut it in half for this year.
We got them.
I don't feel like I got
it all and get sponsor this year and then next year. We'll negotiate.
So
Few more, since it is like initial start. It's up to you guys. Ready here?
I was so moved that that they're talking about. It's a community event. I mean, it's bringing people to town, people are coming here to see the place, look around. We're getting exposure to people that probably we don't get an awful lot of. We may get them out the rodeos, but a lot of young people and that. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a direct cost, it's just writing off our staff time and whatever, so. I would,
So yeah, so the motion is to waive the fee or to grant them the fee for this year. I'll second that. Wayne, second by Councilor Lewis. Any other conversation?
would there be any Princeton participants in this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect,
We have 6 contestants right now of our own.
beautiful.
And then our Little Britches kids, I think there's 2 moving up from Little Britches this year or the beginning of next year. But we are also doing the Rodeo Queen event, so the BC High School Rodeo Queen event. This will be one of their competitions here for finals in October. So we're
Great.
kind of the last one. And our Princeton Rodeo Queen will be competing also.
It's just, it's a similar to our Posse hockey team, when you have local people involved in it, kids involved in it,
Yeah.
the attendance just goes up. So,
Yeah, we
yeah,
have,
that's good to hear,
yeah, we have a few local kids.
perfect.
Excellent.
No question.
Yeah.
Just congratulations for successfully getting that here. I know it's been a lot of work.
He did a lot of work.
Thank you.
Anything else? Favor? That's carried. Okay, and the last thing is to.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, I was like, okay. Cool, all in favor? Carried, thank you.
Maybe they'll need a clown.
Thank you.
Maybe they'll need a clown.